Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. You know, our hearts are a little saddened today, Lori's and mine. A very, very good friend, we call her Dak, passed away last week. And you know, this message probably has motivated a little bit about some of the thoughts I've had around time and the things that are most important to us. We call her Dak. Her real name is Sarah Iverson. We first met Dak because we give every participant that comes into what we call a first descents workshop. We take their old name, throw it away, and we give them a new name so the new person kind of can enjoy the experience. But we met her 7 years ago at a rock climbing camp that we were participating in for young adults living with cancer. And as we watch the participants come in, you can't help but wonder, where are they going to get the strength to be able to go out and climb a mountain? Sarah was a 31-year-old special education teacher, 4th stage cancer, and she was a battler. To see her on the mountain when I didn't even think she could do anything, but to see her climb up and come down with her hand tips bleeding because she kept fighting, and have a grin from here to here, and looking at you with moist eyes saying, I made it over 15 feet today, wait till tomorrow. And we're so blessed to have gotten to know Sarah, Dak, over the last several years. We've had her in our home. Lori has developed a real strong bond with her. And it was with sad news that we get to go to her funeral. Mixed motions, of course, this next week. And she's asked us to even speak there. And what an honor and privilege that is. But you know, it brings me back to what are those things that matter most in life? You know, Henry, and lately I've been so busy, so I guess I'm talking to myself a little bit. But Henry David Thoreau said, it's not enough to be busy. So are the ants. The question is, what are you busy about? You know, we live in a world that frequently confuses being busy with being productive. Thoreau reminds us that just because something takes time doing doesn't mean it's worth doing. As Lloyd Newell said recently in Music and the Spoken Word, some of us may find that we are caught in the thick of thin things, spending our time chasing goals that aren't really important in the long run. And you know, and others of us might be engaged in so many worthwhile causes that we are unable to give our truly best to any of them. Time management books, workshops, coaching, and courses have become a billion-dollar industry. There really is an urgency, it seems like, to squeeze every productive second out of every 24-hour allotment. The reality is that today, like never before, and because of our busyness, true leadership is suffering at the expense of great management. And it's invading every part of our life, at work, at home, and at play. I was shocked to see a recent study. I was curiously shocked, you might say, that talked about today's youth, how they rarely get to experience boredom. It was a TED Talk, and it talked about the challenges that are now facing our youth because they lose that creative time. And really, every second of every day is so organized for a big number of the youth today. And any fraction of a second that they have, any space that they have, they fill it with social media. Businesses are focused on next quarter's earnings. Politicians are focused on the next poll. And even religious leaders are so focused on attendance that they're willing to multitask or to have churches at beaches or other events with entertainers or even at a drive-in theater. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice those things that are essential for those things that you want now? You know, the choices you make today are either a deposit or a withdrawal from our future. Sometimes the best use of our time is to slow down, listen to a loved one who needs us, focus more intently and intentionally on things of lasting value. And my prediction is, when you prioritize those things that matter most and balance them out, you will become even more efficient, and you will enjoy the peace of mind that comes from the self-assurance of knowing that the things you value most and those things that are worthwhile that you aspire to can and will ultimately coexist sooner rather than later. Life is a balancing act, and priorities change throughout life. But regardless of our stage in life, it's never too early and it's never too late to ask ourselves, what are we busy about? Thank you for letting me spend this time with you this Monday. I look forward to talking to you next Monday. Have a meaningful week.